What if one interview made your show bigger than ever, but also made powerful people turn on you overnight? Because that's what reports suggest happened after Shannon Sharpe sat down with comedian Cat Williams on Club Shay Shay, an episode that didn't just go viral, it seemed to change the way people in entertainment looked at Shannon almost immediately. The interview that blew everything up. By early 2024, Shannon Sharpe's podcast was already doing well. He had big guests, strong numbers, and a growing audience. But then Cat Williams showed up and the internet exploded. The episode became one of the most watched interviews on YouTube. Not because it was funny, but because it was intense. Cat didn't come in joking around. He spoke calmly, like he had been waiting a long time for this moment. And he talked about famous people in comedy that many others usually avoid speaking on publicly. Shannon mostly let him talk. He didn't cut him off. He didn't try to control the moment. To many viewers, that made the interview feel real, like they were watching something they weren't supposed to see. But there was one detail that sources indicate many people missed the first time. Cat's warning. They're coming for you. During the conversation, Cat reportedly warned Shannon directly. Not with anger, not with drama, more like a calm heads up. The message was simple. Once this goes viral, some people will not be happy. And when they respond, it won't be loud at first. It'll be quiet, closed doors, pulled invitations, sudden silence. At the time, Shannon seemed like he didn't fully believe it. And why would he? The episode was a massive success. The views were huge. The attention was non-stop. It looked like a win. But then, analysts believed the tone started to shift. The quiet change that people noticed. Not long after the episode blew up, Shannon's momentum seemed to hit a strange wall. Reports suggest planned guests started backing away. People who seemed excited suddenly stopped responding. Conversations that looked in progress appeared to disappear. Nothing dramatic. No public announcement. Just silence. And that kind of silence can be louder than a headline. Over time, it started to feel like what Cat warned about wasn't just talk. It looked like a pattern. Shannon speaks out. I didn't expect that. Months later, Shannon finally opened up about the fallout during a conversation with Cam Newton. And this time, he didn't sound like someone celebrating a huge career moment. He sounded shocked. Shannon explained that he doesn't see himself as a traditional journalist. He describes his style as more of a conversation. He gives guests room to speak and lets people hear them out. And he admitted he did not expect the reaction to be so fast or so harsh. Shannon suggested that after the interview dropped, people started acting different toward him, and he implied that some of the negativity went beyond business. According to what he shared, it didn't stay professional. When backlash turns personal. Shannon indicated that rumors started spreading about him, personal rumors. And when public talk shifts from "I don't like your interview" to "let's attack your private life," that changes everything. Because now it's not just about a podcast episode. It's about reputation. And in the entertainment world, reputation can decide who gets invited and who gets frozen out. Shannon's frustration, based on his comments, seemed to come from one main point. He felt like he was paying the price for someone else's words. The complicated truth, did Shannon allow it or just host it? Here's where the story gets messy. Shannon has had many guests on his show before. Some have made claims. Some have taken shots at other people. That's not new in interviews. But Shannon suggested this situation was different, bigger, sharper, and more personal than anything he expected. At the same time, Cat Williams didn't act surprised by the response. In fact, he almost seemed like he already knew how it would go. And that's why people keep debating this. Should Shannon have seen this coming, or was he honestly blindsided? The industry reaction, not just joke signals. After the episode, other well-known names in comedy responded publicly in different ways. Some spoke in general terms. Some appeared to mock the situation. Some made comments about brands, loyalty, and what happens when you chase views. Even without names being said every time, sources indicate many viewers felt the messages were aimed at Shannon and the platform he provided. Not everyone was laughing. To some, it looked like lines were being drawn. And in industries where relationships matter, those lines can decide your future. The rumor machine gets worse. Then came the part that often happens when a massive moment hits the internet. People started connecting dots. Old clips were reposted. Old tweets were dug up. Random accusations started circulating online. To be clear, many of these claims were not confirmed, and some appeared to be pure speculation. But once that kind of story begins spreading, it becomes hard to stop, because the internet doesn't wait for proof. It runs on curiosity. And analysts believe that is exactly how Shannon became tied to conversations he may never have wanted to be part of. Not because he said those things, but because he hosted the person who did. Influence without permission can be dangerous. After that episode, Club Shay Shay wasn't seen as just a podcast anymore. It became something with real power. And here's what entertainment insiders often understand. Power is usually allowed only when the system approves it. But Shannon's moment wasn't approved. It exploded on its own. And if that interview proved one thing, it's that a single conversation can shake up long-standing relationships and long-standing stories. So even if Shannon's goal was simple, just let a guest speak, others may have seen it differently. So, did Cat Williams ruin Shannon Sharpe? That's the headline many people argue about. But the deeper question might be something else. Did Cat ruin Shannon's career? Or did Shannon finally see what happens when you give the wrong truth a huge microphone? Because if Cat was right about the backlash, and Shannon is right about the personal attacks, then what does that say about how the industry really works? And if silence is the real rule, how many other people are staying quiet right now because they're scared of the same thing happening to them? So here's the question. If one interview can flip friendships into enemies and turn success into isolation, who will be the next person to step into that storm?